When far right, unreasonable, conspiratorial people say vaccines and masks are about control, that is how they see it. They don't really care that much about like the vaccine being dangerous. They don't really think it's dangerous. They are in this personality cult that is about, being on the opposite side of the culture war. Whatever is normal, they do not want to do. If you tell them to drive on the right side of the road, they want to drive on the left side of the road. They do not want to listen to anybody. At the beginning of the pandemic, when they were told that we do not need to wear masks, I know that turned out to not be true, but when we were told to not wear masks, then these conspiratorial, unreasonable, far right people said we need to wear masks. But the moment we were told from our health experts to wear masks, guess what they did? They flipped. So, first off, they're told not to wear masks. They want to wear them. Then they're told to wear masks. They're like, oh, I don't want to wear these anymore. Then with vaccines, I don't want to get vaccines that these people are pushing onto me. But when it comes to experimental treatments, I know they called the vaccine experimental, which wasn't true. It's officially certified by the FDA now when it comes to Pfizer, but with hydrochloroquine and now intermectin, this invermectin right there. It's a horse dewormer. They're taking this now. This is the new big thing. And actual people in positions of power are connected to this. So, Georgia anti-vax police, I'm sure he said the vaccine is dangerous, but he will inject literal horse dewormer. Like, come on, dude. CNN article saying exactly what I'm saying. Invermectin. I keep saying intermectin, but invermectin debacle exposes hypocrisy of anti-vaccine crowd. So, like, somebody who advised DeSantis, one of the conspiracy doctors, I'm sure, they promoted this horse dewormer that isn't proven to help anybody. Ivermectin demand drives up. The demand is going up everywhere. People are actually taking this stuff, just like they drank bleach and they did the hydrochloroquine stuff. This group in America that 100% follows like QAnon type stuff, and they aren't normal vaccine skeptics. I think they are in a whole different class, although they may share some of the same arguments. Even when Donald Trump says, use a vaccine, they boo him. They boo Trump when he says use the vaccine. They don't care about the vaccine. They don't care about if it's going to help people. They don't care about if it's going to help themselves. They care that they're being told to do it by people who they don't want to be told to do stuff from. Like, they don't want to listen to authority, even if that authority is like a doctor. I know local hospitals making their employees get this vaccine, and they're getting major flack for it. We get vaccines mandated to us, forced by the government for like going to school or getting a passport, going to certain countries. You got to get certain vaccines, joining the military. You got to get vaccines. But now the COVID vaccine, it's all politicized. It's all a fear campaign. It's all a big conspiracy. It's all going to kill you. Everything's going to kill you except COVID, apparently, because nobody cares about that rising right now. Although COVID right now is the number one cause of death in America above cancer and heart disease. And it's been there before. So if we take cancer with COVID, we are like doubling that. And people tell me all the time, like, why do we care so much about COVID when people die all the time? People die every day. Why care about COVID? If I could stop people from dying from COVID by wearing a mask, I would do that. So I do. If I could prevent people from dying by cancer or heart disease by wearing a mask, something so dumb, something so light, something so gentle, something so easy to do. If I could prevent death by doing that, I would. If I could lessen death around the world, in my own country, in my own state, in my own community, or anywhere, by doing something so dumb, so pathetic, but so pathetically easy. But like wearing a mask, I would do that. Getting a vaccine, I would do that because I care about leaving a positive overall impact on the world. There are zero confirmed vaccine caused death. So just because people might get a vaccine and then die, that doesn't mean they died from the vaccine. If I get vaccinated and then get run over by a car, the car killed me, not the vaccine. If I get vaccinated and I'm 80 years old and then I have a heart attack later and die, I probably died from a heart attack of old age. There are studies that are done on cases like that to determine what the real cause of death is. And throughout all the studies so far, no matter what you see online, if you look at the actual studies, the real information, nobody has died from the COVID vaccine. But COVID 19 is the number one cause of death in America right now. And it's going to continue on that trajectory. It's probably going to double cancer. It might kill more people than cancer and heart disease do combined per day in America come this winter. There is a high chance that is going to happen. And there is nothing we can do to really stop it because we are already in a position of no return. Nobody's going to do lockdowns again. Nobody's going to wear masks again. People might get vaccinated because their family members die, but it's sad it needs to come to that conclusion. Like you need somebody close to you to die to realize you got to get your ass in gear and pick up some personal responsibility to protect yourselves and yourself and others. Um, yeah, right now, hospitals in I think Alabama. Uh, there's a couple states. It's like Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, Texas. They are running out of Arkansas. That's a big one. They're running out. They are running out of emergency rooms and also spots in the morgue. So this happened in New York at the beginning of the pandemic. So in New York, they had to bring in a lot of refrigerator trucks because the morgues filled up. They couldn't burn all the bodies quick enough because the bodies piled up at such a high rate because of COVID. A lot more people died last year than were expected because of COVID. If you look at all the data without looking at a Facebook meme, everybody gets their news from a Facebook meme, and I'm trying to tell them the actual data, but they're like, "I've done my research," and I'm like, "No, I've done my research with the actual facts." But no, they saw the Facebook meme, so they don't listen. But yeah, people are piling up bodies, and they don't have anywhere to put those bodies. You could look it up. Emergency rooms are full. And when emergency rooms are full, and by the way, this is one reason to get the vaccine, even if the vaccine isn't good at preventing the spread of COVID. Because if the vaccine can prevent people from going to the hospital if they have it, that means emergency rooms will not be as full, will not fill up as quick, which isn't only for the people that need to use the emergency room. Like, what if you get into, for COVID, I mean, what if you need to get into the ER for a car crash? You get into a car crash, but you can't go see the doctor now. You might die because somebody who's not vaccinated is taking up a hospital bed. What if you wear a mask all the time, and you have cancer, and you have a vaccine, and you did everything right, but now you can't get a hospital bed. You cannot see a doctor because somebody else who is not vaccinated took up that hospital bed, or any other host of issues for any reason. Like, what if you break your arm and you got to go see the doctor in the ER, but they say no, we can't take you because there are bodies piling up outside of our offices. Not only that too, but for anybody. And this is where I really have to dig deep into my humanity and hope that people can see it in the same way I do, because if they can't, it kind of scares me. When it comes to nurses, a lot of people know nurses like everywhere. They have extremely difficult jobs. And the fact that so many nurses are having to say right now to people, it's too late to get your vaccine, as the people are suffocating begging for a vaccine, is terrible. The idea that these nurses need to be working 24 hours or, their long shifts with full hospitals that are always in code red, that are always full, and the people whose job it is, these working class people whose job it is to take care of your ass and whose job it is to burn the bodies after your ass dies because you are because you like Facebook too much. These people, I don't think it's fair to them that they need to be watching all these bodies, all these bodies pile up. Um, it's just the overall thing. It gets you to a point where it's like, I want to be gentle with people. I want to say, please get your vaccine. I don't, I don't. I hope you're, I hope you get it. Please. I don't want to control you. I just know, like, it's safe. It's effective. Maybe it's not going to prevent all spread, but it's going to help. It's going to reduce spread. You're not going to take up somebody else's hospital bed. The nurses, think about other people. Think about other people. Think above the politics. Think without all the noise that fills in our daily conversations that are fueled by CNN and Fox News conflict. That isn't what this is all about. But I think eventually everybody is gonna at least see it. Everybody I know got their ass kicked by COVID. Um, If your family member dies from it, I'm sorry. Uh, if your family member gets really sick and you are not vaccinated, I hope you do get vaccinated. For those of us who have had family members die from it, it's hard to not get mad at people. But they're being lied to by Facebook and Candace Owens and Steven Crowder, and I can't even say Donald Trump anymore because Trump is pro-vaccine. Who would have thought he'd be the voice of reason when it comes to vaccines? But you know, it's Tucker Carlson. I hate he is the child of a rich billionaire, oil oil billionaire. He's a rich heir to the throne of that, and he acts like he's a working class person who can talk to you about your health and about what you should do as an actual working person who's not just the rich person, who's not just the rich asshole who who gets to broadcast himself in front of millions to make money. He scares you to make money. They profit when we fight each other. People like Tucker Carlson, they are actively getting people killed right now, and the politics. I hate politics. I really hate politics so much. And that's exactly why I need to do politics. Because what else am I going to do? If I, you know, somebody's got to try to make it better. And everybody who cares about it as much as I do better get in the game, baby. Because we know the people who don't care aren't going to help at all. So if you do care and you can help, please, please do what you can do. Don't get too discouraged. It it can be difficult. It is difficult. Um, this entire journey, you might lose friends. I'm not exactly the best with people when it comes to politics because it's hard to not just say, "Hey, you're just wrong, bro, buddy. What you just said right there is so dumb." It's hard for me not to do that during conversations. Like, bro, please Google Afghanistan on a map and look at it for 10 seconds. Study the 20-year history of us being there, and then 20 years before we get like, dude, all of the political topics today, everybody has no idea what they're talking about, but yet they feel so strongly that they are correct about it. Me being somebody who does pay a lot of attention and who does do real research about all of this stuff, I'm unsure about a lot of it. But yet somebody who scrolls up on Facebook and sees a meme about Joe Biden killing innocent America or like whatever, that person thinks they are the arbiter of all knowledge. But cool.